Hello, this is Daniel Mart, and today I'm going to be doing another review. This time around, I'm going to be doing a review for the first episode. Sorry, for the first episode of season 1, episode 1 of the new CBS TV show Supergirl. So yeah, this show stars Melissa Benoist, McCall Brooks, Kyler Lee, Jeremy Jordan, David Harewood, Celista Flockhart, Lauren Benetti, Dean Kane, Gina Don Tatum, Peter Fincinelli, Glenn Morshower, Helen Slater, Chris Vance, and yeah, yeah, that's all for the actors and actresses. So yeah, before I begin, though, 10-second spoiler warning for those who have yet to actually watch the first episode of Supergirl and haven't already. Stop the video, go check it out, and come back here and watch the rest of this review. 10-second spoiler warning, as usual, starting now. So yeah, 10 seconds are up. So for those who have yet to actually watch this episode and haven't already, please don't comment down below or be messaging me. Then I will give you a fair warning, because as usual, I did. So yeah, first off, in advance, I will say I am a bit sick. I've been a bit sick for about past week and a half. So yeah, so sorry for the coughing, like right now. So yeah, so this show, the first episode, the pilot episode, called Pilot, premiered on October 26, 2015 on the CBS show. And as usual, quick synopsis, likes and dislikes, and then the rate. So basically, it starts off with with Supergirl's backstory, and basically, first off, I don't know anything about Supergirl off the comics aside from the fact that one of her counterparts is Power Girl, and aside from that, aside from the basics that she's a Krypton, she's the cousin of Superman, and that her counterpart is called Power Girl. I really don't know much about Supergirl, so I'm gonna start off with that. So her backstory in this TV show is that she was sent with Superman, with Clark Kent, Kal-El, to help protect him, because at the beginning she's about a decade older than him. She was like 12 when she was sent with Clark Kent, who was 2 at the time, or like a newborn baby or whatever. So they're both sent to Earth before Krypton is destroyed. Thing is, her spaceship gets sucked into the Phantom Zone, and in the Phantom Zone there is no concept of time. So she stays as this 12 or 13-year-old girl for for about 2 decades, more or less, because by the time she gets out of the Phantom Zone, Superman manages to find her and save her, and they say he's about 20 years, a little bit over 20 at this point. So it's been about 2 decades, and so Superman puts her with Danvers, the Danvers family, and then it goes to a time skip where we see Supergirl, or Kara Zor-El, or Kara Danvers, whatever you want to call her, in modern day, and how she's more or less living her how more or less she's been living her life. She's working for a newspaper, Capcom or something like that. Catco or something like that. She's working for a newspaper. Jimmy Olsen comes in, and there's actually some controversy with him, which I actually did a video on the fact that his race was changed from white to black. The actor they got for him, McCall Brooks, he did a pretty good job in the role. It is the first episode, so who knows. And yeah, the acting is something I'm going to get to in a few seconds. And then throughout the rest of the episode, it's just her just discovering her powers. She has to go against this other Kryptonian who escaped the prison. And apparently there's a prison in the Phantom Zone, which there's always been a prison in the Phantom Zone. But when Kara escaped the Phantom Zone, this prison also escaped the Phantom Zone, crash landed into Earth, and it basically sent like every single criminal from Krypton into Earth, and now they've all escaped and are now causing havoc all around Earth. And now Kara, Supergirl, has to now save the Earth in a sense, and she's starting off small with a few petty alien criminals, I guess you could say. And yeah. Overall, it's a good show. The acting, for the most part, is pretty good. I mean, if anything, there are times where the actors and actresses are either overacting or underacting, in my opinion, depending on the situation. I mean, I mentioned Mehcad Brooks. I think he's the best actor here throughout this whole show, and he does overact a bit. I mean, everybody in this show seems to overact, and I do understand it is the first episode, so they are trying to understand the character. But still, I do feel like they are either over or underacting. It's normally overacting, but there are a few times where they're like, whatever, I really don't care for this scene. Let me just do it and let me get it over with. So yeah. Um, I will say I like the first half more, where it's just the origin story aspect of it. But once we get to the second half, where they kind of reveal that Kara's stepsister, I guess you could say, or like half sister, stepsister, sister from another mother, literally. Um, Once she finds out that her sister is like a secret agent, it kind of takes this weird twist where it's okay, but it just kind of happens suddenly. It's not really introduced correctly, if you know what I mean. It just kind of happens without. It just kind of happens without hesitation. It really comes out of left field, and it just feels like the episode now just has two parts which are inconsistent. So yeah, because the first part is the origin story, and then the second part is literally just her. I mean, the whole thing as a whole is her discovering her past, but the first part is her origin story. The second part is just her being used as a weapon by the government, and in a sense, against some of these other alien threats. So it kind of just comes out of left field. Overall, though, it's a pretty good premiere. Could have been better. Yeah. And also in the second half, like the first half had some pretty good action scenes, but in the second half, for the most part, the action scenes in the second half were edited. They were edited in this weird way. It just kind of seemed like Crank. And what I mean by that is like the Jason Statham movie Crank, where it's just over accelerated. Where just it's kind of hard to follow, and that's how the action scenes during the second half of this episode were. They kind of felt like that. They were kind of hard to follow. So I just kind of question exactly who directed this episode, or like how many people were directing it. Because here it says one person directed it, Glenn Winter. But I feel like there was more people actually directing it, because the first part felt normal. The first like half hour, okay, it's more like it's an hour with commercials. Let's say about 45 minutes without commercial. So let's say like the first 20 minutes, 25 minutes were normal, where everything's normal, and then the last 25-ish minutes just felt like all over the place. So yeah, like the second half needed improvement. I will say there were two action scenes that were pretty cool, but still a bit rushed. So yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and 6 being decent, I'd give this a 6 out of 10. It's a good premiere, it's a decent premiere, but it definitely could have been better. I will have to say, it could have been better. Could have been better. Yeah, will I keep reviewing this? I'll keep watching it just to see how if it improves, and thus far it's only been picked up for 13 episodes, so it's only got 13 episodes thus far that I know of. So yeah. Overall, though, pretty good episode, nevertheless. 6 out of 10 is what I'd give the Supergirl pilot. And yeah, that's basically it for now. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, and comic book reviews. Comment down below on your thoughts on the episode. Have you seen it? And if not, why not? And if you have, what are your thoughts on it? Comment out that down below and let me know. Like the video, share on Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, or whatever you guys prefer. And that's basically it for now. This is Daniel Mart, signing off.